Okay, guys, so for this first demo, um, we're going to create this coins and jar program, and it's going to demo some of the arithmetic operators. So, and also just how you turn. Let me turn on my sketch screen. How you turn this whole large paragraph into computer code, okay, so we can start narrowing this stuff down. So what I always tell you guys is to circle your nouns, underline your verbs, okay? So underline, circle, coins in jar, prints. Now here's what I'm going to do actually. I'm just going to look for these and I'm going to actually type these out because the minute I need to move down my screen, I'm going to have to delete this anyway. So I'm going to type these out. But well, actually, let's just read what we're supposed to do and then we can do all that. All right. So we want to figure out what we're trying to do. So it says write an application determines the value of the coins in a jar and prints a total in dollars and cents. All right. That should be pretty self-explanatory. So you would write down, so there's a certain amount of coins in a jar, so we're trying to find the total value of all coins in a jar and return the amount in dollars and cents. Okay. So we start looking through for nouns and verbs. So we had what? Application. Oops. It's not going to let me use that over there. All right, that's fine. I'll just, what was it, right? Now remember, a lot of our nouns and a lot of our verbs won't be used. So we got to kind of determine which ones aren't important, all right? So coins in jar, that's probably going to be important because that's the name of our program, and we know that because it's the title right here. So this is going to be the name of our class. We'll create a main coins in jar and a coins in jar when we're ready. Okay. So we want total dollars and cents. So you could just have like total. Total's fine. I mean, in dollars and cents, that's excuse me, descriptive. So we could just say total in dollars slash cents. Whoops. So we need to ask the user. So that word ask is a verb. User is a noun. Enter is a noun. So we want tote quarters because it says enter the total number of quarters. Tote dimes. Tote nickels. Then tote pennies. Also create mutator methods. So this is where when we see that word mutator method, it's going to change something. So we're going to set it. So it says set tote number. So this is going to be over here, set tote. I'm going to run out of room here. Set quarter. That'll be quarters. Sorry, I can't. I don't want it to go to none of the line. Yeah, that's still not going to have enough. Set tote dimes. Set tote nickels. Oh, whoops. What else we got? Set tote pennies. Okay, also create mutator method, set the total number. Okay, create a mutator method to set the total amount. Okay, so set tote amount. That's in dollars. Finally created accessor. So it's going to an accessor. When you see the word accessor, it means get. You're getting something. You're returning it. Tote amount. All right. So those are our nouns and verbs. Okay. So down here we can kind of make our UML model. And I am going to get just a little bit more space up here if I can. Going to allow me to? Probably not. All right. There we go. Now I got lots of space here where I can draw out my UML model. All right, so now once I get on to the sketch-pad, I'm not going to be able to scroll up and down, but I'll just remember which ones. Like, so we talk about this. Write, it's not important, okay? Ask, not important. Application, you're always writing an application, not important. User, have the user enter information. Enter should be over here under verbs, but it probably got kicked over. That's fine. So we're trying to narrow this down. So we're figuring out the words, this whole paragraph, which I don't know, maybe it's 100 words. We've narrowed this thing down now to, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And now we're going to narrow it down to even less. Would I say 18? And we're going to get rid of 4. Get rid of 5. So there's 13 words here now that are important to your program. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 12 words here now that we've broken this huge paragraph up into 12 words that you can now turn into a UML model, and then you can program that. So let's do that, all right? Where are we at here? Screen sketch. All right, so we said that coins and jar was the name of our class. So coins in jar. And I apologize for my handwriting. Doing it on a screen is a little bit harder, and I got bad handwriting anyway. So variables we're gonna have tote. Let's do this. Where's my eraser? Let's change this back, and we'll say, we'll make all these, when you're working with, let's make everything double, okay? So we'll say double tote quarters, double tote dimes, double tote nickels, double tote pennies. Okay, and then we'll have a double tote amount. Okay, because that's the total amount. So to get that total amount, we'll add up tote quarters, tote dimes, tote nickels, tote pennies. Okay. I'm trying to think if there are any variables or anything else, and I might come across it when I start programming. All right. So now we need our methods. So there's going to be a bunch of them. So there's a constructor. So it's just public, and then coins in jar. Okay, and that's actually going to accept all of these. All right, I don't want to put it in there, but it's going to accept all of those. All right. Then we got public, void, set tote quarters, and it will actually accept the total quarters. If we want to change it up, so we could do double tote quarters. And I'm not going to do this on all of them, but at least you get to kind of see public, void, set, tote dimes. And you would do something similar like that up there. And then we got public, void, set, tote, nickels. Same thing. Public, where you'd pass in the total number of nickels. Then you got void, set, tote, pennies. Same thing, you pass in the total number of pennies. Now the last one's gonna be public, and it's not void because you're getting it. So you want to return the data type that you're going to return. So it's public double get tote amount. Okay, and this is where maybe we need to do a set tote amount and then get tote amount. Yeah, so up here, sorry, public void set tote amount. Okay, and this one is where you would add up your total number of quarters, dimes, nickels, pennies, and this one you would get them. Okay, so from here now, I mean, programming this thing out should be pretty easy. We know our program name, we know the variables, and we know our methods. And we're gonna, I mean, the logic is pretty easy because all we do is addition here. I mean, that's shouldn't be hard for anybody. And then we just get the final amount and display it in main. So let's start writing that program as fast as we can. Okay, so file, new project. So we always call it main, and then the name of the program is going to be coins in jar. Coins in jar. Finish. Okay, main, where's main coins in jar? Main coins in jar, let me open this up. Okay, so I'm gonna right click and create my Java class, and we'll call it coins in jar. So we got main coins in jar and coins in jar. All right, so we'll start writing main first. So this will be public, import java.util.scanner to import the scanner class because we got to ask the user to enter in information. So we got to create a scanner object, and I just always create mine and call it my scanner equals new. Okay. And then it said to create a constructor and pass in the information. So let's do that. We got to get the information first. So system.out.println, enter the, I'm going to make this fast, number of quarters in the jar. I could say double tote quarters equals my scanner.next double. Okay, and then what I like to do, my Control-C button and Control-V is my friend, so then I say enter the number of dimes, and we'll change this to tote dimes. Then we'll take that and change that to nickels. Okay. And finally, pennies. Okay, tote pennies. Okay, so now we've got all of our data. They asked us to put it in to initialize our data in the class in the constructor. So let's create the constructor here. So our class name is coins in jar, and then my object will be my coins in jar equals new coins in jar. And if you don't use a constructor, this would be blank like always, but in this case we are going to use a constructor, so we need the tote quarters, tote dimes, tote nickels, and tote pennies. Okay, and you need to put it in that order. Now there's an error here because we haven't created the constructor yet, so let's go in here and we can create the constructor. So constructors aren't public, and you don't have a data type, so it's just public coins in jar. They have the same name as the class. Okay, they're a special type of method that only gets called once to initialize data. So we passed in tote quarters, tote nickel, or tote dimes, tote nickels, and tote pennies, so we have to accept them in that order. So double tote quarters, double tote dimes, and finally double tote nickels and double tote pennies. And so then what I do is I tell kids to create your own separate variables in this class so that they're different from main. The idea of this is encapsulation, and you'll learn about it in the AP class. So that's all I'll say about that. But we'll say my tote quarters, my tote dimes, my tote nickels, and my tote pennies. So now we got to accept them in. My tote quarters equals my tote quarters, tote dimes equals tote dimes, Alright, and just for, you don't have to do that, but I like lining all those up. It's kind of, I don't know if it's important or not. So that error message should go away here in a second. Coins, there we go. Coins in jar, there we go. So now we entered these, right? So we entered, and so all this information would exist here. And essentially here we could say, we could do this. We could say public void set tote amount, and say we're gonna set up a tote amount variable. We could just say right here tote amount is equal to my tote quarters plus my tote dimes plus my tote nickels plus my tote pennies. Okay, and then we can get it. public double get tote amount, and we would return the tote amount. Okay, and I could go back in here and I could say the total amount of coins in the jar is, like a little dollar sign, do a little plus symbol right here, and I would say my coins in jar, which is my object that I created right here, and I could say dot get tote amount. Okay, and there's still an error because we have to set it first, so we could say my coins in jar dot set tote amount. So this would run our calculation and this will get it. So if I run this, this will work fine how it is. There's a couple other things I want to show you real quick, but if I say I don't know, what do we want to do? 4 quarters, 1 dime, 1 nickel, and 1 penny. So what's that? We got errors here. Yeah, we got errors here because I haven't. Yeah, because it's just adding these all up. Okay, cool. So we've got to give each a value. Kind of forgot about that. That's not good. But that's not hard to fix. Couple ways we could do that. We could just do it like this right here. Could say this times. Yeah, this is how we'll do it. All right, so now that should fix everything. Let's run it again. So we could say here 4 quarters, 1 nickel, and 1 penny. So there you go, $1.16. Now this works. This is fine how it is. But what happens if the user is like, oh, I want to change up you know, my number of quarters, dimes, and nickels, okay? Say they do that. We could do it down here, okay? Now we're gonna have to run these again to get us our new value, okay? And we're not going to redefine them. We're just going to add in new values. In order for this to work now, remember our constructor up here only gets called one time. All right? So as a programmer, you need to have other methods in there to allow them to change this data up. And that's where this comes in. So we could say my coins in jar dot set tote quarters and pass in the quarters. My coins here, you know what? I like copying and pasting, so now there's going to be errors on all these lines because I haven't created them yet. Okay, and so right here, public void set tote quarters, pass in the tote quarters, my tote quarters equals tote quarters. Now look at, so we initialized it here, but if we call this method, this my tote quarters is now set to whatever's passed in here, and it overwrites what it was initially set to up here. Okay, so I'll do some copying, close that, make this tote nickels. Okay, there. Shoot, I should keep this in order. I'll put that up here just because I'm being anal and want to keep it in order. So then we'll take this and change this to pennies. All right, so set total quarters, pass in total quarters, my total quarters equals total quarters. Set tote dimes, pass in tote dimes, my tote dimes equals tote dimes. Set tote nickels, double, pass in the tote nickels, my tote nickels equals tote nickels. All right, I think that looks good. So let's try this again. Let's just do what we did initially. Actually, you know what? Let's do 1 quarter, 2 dimes, 2 nickels, and 2 pennies. So what is that? 25, 35, 45, 55, 56, 57 cents. Okay, that's good. Now it asks us to enter this again. So let's change this up to, I don't know, 2 quarters, 1, 1, 1. So we should have 50 cents, 60, 566. Okay, 66 cents. All right, so everything looks pretty good. You guys can copy all that stuff in. But you guys should be good to go on this. This is kind of a long program, but it demonstrates everything we're kind of heading into with mutator methods and accessor methods. So, all right, bye.